kind of a random question, but do you think that you need to be a U.S.-born citizen to run for president? See, I actually don't know if I agree with that entirely, because I think if we're basing it off of merit and what you can do for this country, limiting the pool of people from people like Elon Musk, from people like you, I don't think it's a productive thing.
If you ask me the question and somebody says, for example, I went to a restaurant in Beverly Hills. It's called Crustaceans, my favorite restaurant in Beverly Hills that I would go to. Crustaceans has 2 kitchens, okay? One of the kitchens, you have to be part of the On family to go in that kitchen, okay? So they could hire you, and there's that secret kitchen you cannot get into because they make this garlic noodles that you think they spiced it with every single addictive drug in the world. Because when you eat these noodles, oh my God, it's unbelievable, right? No, you got. By the way, you gotta go there. You gotta go there. Okay,
we will.
Crustaceans, and now they have these cigar thing that they make that you eat with smoke comes out, and they got these crab legs that they make. And anyways, when you go there, you'll walk in and you say, "What was this all about?" Insane, beautiful food. I respect a brand that says the recipe that's been passed down by a generation is only if you're an On. You can't come in here and steal our recipe and go do it elsewhere. I salute it. I respect it. Everybody else that works here, you go in the other kitchen. Is it a form of discrimination? 100%. You are discriminating. So America can say, hey, you can only come in the kitchen here and make decisions for America at the highest level president if you're part of the On family. If you're not, we discriminate against other people that are born here. It is an element of discrimination. That is a discriminatory policy that they have in place. But I fully understand it. Now, if they wanted to kind of amend it or change it and, you've been here for 35 years and, now you can run, you've had to serve, you've had to, pay a certain amount of taxes, or you had to create jobs, or certain ways you had to go get the degrees from this, that, or certain ways to get in there that you've contributed to society. You've been a net positive to society, to America in ways others haven't been, then maybe you get the card to be able to run. But the concern for me is the following. There are people who love America way more, immigrants who love America way more than those who are born here. A person who lost a father young, who sits with their best friend who's bitching about his father because he disciplined him too much. The friend says, can you please stop bitching about your dad that's challenging you, who's alive? I wish my dad was alive to discipline me. Stop complaining. Oh my God, you're such a crybaby. I'm sick of your bullshit of complaining about your dad, right? And then that kid walks in saying, man, I'm so glad my dad is alive. What a perspective, right? There's an element to it. There's too many Americans that are bitching about their dad that's alive, where other countries wish their founding fathers cared about their country as much as they did. They wish. And these Americans are saying, well, I think I'm entitled to this. I think I'm entitled to this. I'm entitled to this. You're a founder. You've ran a company before. You know what it is when you work your ass off for that money and you make that money. And as a founder, what do? If I'm going to buy 20 cases of this water for my office and they're going to say, well, it's $628. You know what? Here's $628. But if it's you spending that money, you're going to be like, wait a minute, what does Costco sell it for? $542. Let's buy from Costco. You'll go save that $80 as a founder. Mm-hmm. But one of your employees is going to be like, just pay the $628. Who cares, right? The founder's mentality wants to save the $80. You know what America is today? America is today filled with a bunch of spoiled brats who are spending daddy's money that they never made. How much debt do we have right now? Is it 32?
Yeah.
$32 trillion. Why do we have $32 trillion? Because the kids, the grandkids, the great-great-grandkids are using daddy's money, not caring at all who worked their asses off prior to them to make this money, make it the number one country in the world. So you have some good habits. But no, yeah, pay those guys this much money. Send $70 billion to Ukraine, even though Russia's annual budget is $65 billion. Who cares? Send it to them. Yeah, send this thing over here. I think a little bit of people from America would be very interesting if Elon Musk was a president.
You know what's interesting is that Jack mentioned earlier how wealth is usually squandered in 3 generations. And couldn't we say now that, like, Jack and I are almost that 3rd generation of America, and we're somewhat squandering it? in a sense.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. So for me, I think if one would wonder, like yesterday, if Vivek is speaking here, first generation, and you're hearing him sell America in a way that most Americans can't sell America. You know what's my simplest question I want to ask a candidate? Sell me America. Can you sell America? Sell America. Like if I ask you right now, sell me why somebody ought to create content on YouTube. You could sell it. If I said, sell me on the idea of making money at a young age. Sell me real estate. Sell me why I ought to be in a different industry. Most of these candidates don't even know how to sell America. They don't know how to sell America. How do you sell America? Sometimes to sell America properly, you have to know what is the opposite of America. And the only way you know what the opposite of America is, you have to have lived in another place. You have to have experienced what it's like to give a perspective somebody's not paying attention to. So is it a law that I think they'll eventually amend? I think they'll eventually amend it. Do I think it's going to happen in the next 5, 10, 20, 40, 80 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.